Alrighty, hey there everyone. We're back here again with some more Minecraft. Last time we completed our storage room and enchanted all 27 extra elytra. This time we are going to actually complete our storage room. We put all the chests down last time. We didn't complete the structure though. So we still got quite a lot of work cut out for us here today. And let's see what we got. Yep, so as you can see, we got a couple of chests. The game does not like this right now because it has just reloaded, but we will be working on this. So we need to figure out our block palette that we want to use for all of these. Like I've said before, I want to go kind of dark to mid to light, so that way we can kind of mix things up a little bit and actually have some kind of gradient, because that would be cool. And otherwise, we need to get a hold of our dyes as well, because we actually don't have a lot of dyes to do this with. We do have a lot of glass, but we need the dyes. And actually, we'll save the glass for later. We really just need block palette stuff, if I'm going to be honest here. So, if we're going to have multiple layers sandwiched, right, we're going to have like our dark, like, deep slate layer here, then something a little bit brighter, and then your cobblestone, and your tough, and stone bricks, and then you kind of get up until eventually you get to your, like, topmost layer. It should be white up at the top. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 layers that we have to try and come up with, which we can do. It's just going to be kind of annoying to figure out is all. But let's just keep it simple and start with deep slate first, as we know we're going to want that. We're going to want some deep slate and black stone. There's tough, that's good. Cobble deep slate, perfect. We got a whole batch of that still. And I don't think I have a lot of black stone. We got some nether brick, which could actually be kind of cool, but we'll leave it be for now. Right. We'll turn this into tile. This will just get us started at least for right now. Here we go. All right. So we're going to mainly use deep slate tile for the actual floor, and then we're going to have like a pathway down the center that'll be made out of something different. We've additionally got that pillar there, the cobblestone that we can do stuff with, but we're not going to worry about that for this second. It might just be cobblestone for a long time, just that way we can get it out of the way. There we go. There we go, doing a little something like that, and then you would have some kind of pillar going all the way from here straight down to have a central walkway, because that would be cool. And then we'll have a trim of a different kind going the whole way around. So we're going to take some time here to block all this off first. Whoops. Wrong block. There we go. There we go. Do a little something like that. Well, kind of. We actually are only going to do the deep slate tiles on here, and then I want like a different trim going around. So let's just leave this circle in place for now, and we'll come back to this a little later. And then we'll go up to that part with the deep slates. This should be fine. We should get some cobblestone. Of course, we don't have any on us right this second, but we should get some cobblestone to fix that up a little bit nicer. There we go. Do a little something like that. And we'll keep this cobble on us for right now because we don't need to get rid of it. But yeah, we just got to keep filling this up with deep slate tile, and this will already help us out quite a lot. So yeah. Whoops. Come on now. There we go. There we go. Doing good on tile still. That's good. Almost tempted to throw mangrove wood in at some point, but I really don't know. And maybe by doing a gradient, we're limiting ourselves a bit too much. Because if we do a gradient, then we have to go from black to white, and with your grays in between. And I don't know. I feel like we could get a little bit more creative than that. I feel like we could actually design each floor a little bit nicer and just use nice, simple block palettes on all of them. It didn't need to be a gradient form or nothing. But we will figure that one out. Maybe having like a moss floor would actually be kind of nice. And like a more greenery-esque like floor would be pretty interesting. We'll probably give that a try. There we go. Down to our last stack of deep slate tiles, so we'll have to make more here pretty soon, but we'll be fine. There we go, we got all that done. I left it somewhere, didn't I? Yep, here it is. And we'll craft all this up. There we go. I also work on having a sextuple beacon today too. We finally have all the nether stars for it, but I haven't actually done anything with them yet. Not in here, they're somewhere else, but I don't actually remember where I put them now that I'm thinking about it. I'm sure it'll be fine. We'll put that there, put that there, there we go. There we go. Do a little something like that. That should get us covered on all four sides. That should be fine. That'll get us started. And then pillar-wise, I mean, I guess we could just use spruce, since spruce goes good with just about everything. So we'll pop down into our base and go get some spruce real quick. We just mined a bunch yesterday, but obviously that went all towards all chests, so we can't quite use that. Let's see here. Yeah, we got 3 stacks of spruce logs left over. That should be okay. Yeah, I'm liking that already with the deep slate, so we'll do that for the first land, and we'll change our pillar block kind of partway through, just so that way we mix things up a little bit better. But that'll, you know, that'll depend on what we're doing, so. Here we go. That's a full loop done. We can take all that away for now. And additionally with this trim, I don't know what I really want to do at the moment. I don't know if I want to do some kind of wood trim or not. Okay, like where this deep slate, no, it would actually be the block inset a little bit more. I feel like I want a different block that isn't spruce wood going down the center. Maybe we could use basalt. That would be kind of interesting. Yeah, that isn't something we've done before too, but I know I want kind of like, I want a log kind of block. That didn't really make a lot of sense, but I want something that like looks like a log but isn't a log for what I'm trying to do here. Oh, we should use endstone on one of the floors too. I think that could be kind of interesting. Yeah, like some kind of basalt here I think would be a little bit more interesting. Where it's got like the smooth texture on the outside, but then it's got like the rougher like texture on the inside. It just looks more like a log. If that makes any sense. Yeah, I don't know about that. Hmm. Maybe it's one of those things you gotta really commit to, and then you'll know for sure when it's done. Hmm. No, I could see it. Yeah, I can see it. All right. Oh, looks like we can make polished basalt too. I didn't even know we could do that. All right. Well, that's cool enough. Still gonna stick with the deep slate I'm feeling though. So we're gonna do polished deep slate for the floor. Or at least for the central path that's here. Then it gets all the way to the end here, and then we want some kind of additional trim, which could probably just be polished basalt, if that's going to be the case. I think we could do that. Looks a little bit shinier, I guess. You can't craft it up any further, though. What does polished basalt look like? Ooh, no, I like that a lot more for these. Yeah, we're gonna do this. Okay. We're gonna use polished basalt for these ends, and then we're gonna use smooth basalt for the actual trim. So we'll have to go back into our base and go get some more. Put that away. There we go. I like how more vibrant it is, you know? Like, I feel like the grays of it are a little bit brighter, and I feel like that mixes a little bit better, and the tips being darker too feels nicer, so I think this is a great call. And then we're gonna go down into our base, and we're gonna go get some of that polished basalt, wherever the hell we got it. Should be in here, or smooth basalt rather, that's what it was. So we'll get this going. And we'll get like however much of that. Yeah, I think it'll work. Take all this tile out. Here we go. Do a little something like this. Wait, what am I doing? This needs to be actually on the layer, dumbass. We can fix that up easy enough at least. There we go. There we go. Okay, that's better. I just feel like it's kind of cursed how it cuts off though, but at the same time I don't want the ends exposed. But then again, I haven't exactly tried it, so who knows? If you could make polished basalt with the ends not exposed, that would be perfect, but I don't think you can. It's a bit of a shame. Yeah, that feels more normal. So we'll have smooth basalt for the corner bits. I think that's fine. And then for the axis here, this should be a lot better. It's all iterative, you know? That's a good thing about building. You get one idea, you move on to the next, you have another idea, you revise an old idea, and you just keep going back and forth, you know? And, you know, it's not for everyone being able to, like, go back and forth on a bunch of shit like that. It's definitely not for me that often, but when you've actually got stuff to work with, and you don't have to, like, barely have enough shit to scrooge things together, and you can afford to be more experimental, then, like, it's a lot more fun, you know? Because obviously we're not playing creative, but with the amount of shit that we have, it really feels like it, you know? It's very nice. We'll also put in some lighting in the floor or something, but we're not going to do that quite yet. But we'll get there at some point. There we go. Do a little something like that. More polished basalt. There we go. Something like that. Now that polished deep slate, that'll give us some more stuff. There we go. And we need more basalt here. And the polished basalt. Already been 20 minutes. Now, you have another stream later today at 5:30 as well. So that'll be cool. I just felt like streaming this morning because I'm like, yeah, I'm in the mood and I got stuff I actually want to get done, so we're gonna go for it. And I think it's already worked out quite well. So yeah, it's pretty nice. There we go. Do a little something like this. And then for now, we're just gonna have torch lighting on every couple of blocks or whatever. Just doing a little something like that. Okay, don't jump off though. Now, this is also where we get a decision to make because I do feel like it could be cool. I also want this to be a trim, I think, of polished basalt. Instead of it being deep slate tiles, because we want the tile to start farther in the back. I want there to be some amount of continuity here. Something like this. And then this is where we would fill this in with whatever kind of block we want. I don't know what that'll look like right now, but we will figure that one out in the near future. Let's make sure we keep our smooth basalts all together. And we'll just cook up the rest of our regular basalt into polished, because we can do that. We can always go out and go get more though, so we'll use up whatever we got. Here we go. Yeah, I feel like they should still have that same basalt trim going the whole way around. I feel like that makes more sense. And then we can fill this new inner bit that we have with whatever we want. So the only deal for this first floor that we're working on is it's got to be a solid block because it can't be glass because of everything else. So it's got to be solid. And then the next like 3 or 4 layers, so that layer, that layer, that layer can be glass. And then probably not that layer at the very top because we want that to be solid so it transitions into another room. So we'll see how that goes. Then I guess we could use deep slate brick here. I mean, we could just say fuck it and go all in on the deep slate stuff. So we'll probably use deep slate brick to round out that like trilogy of that trifecta. And then we'll have polished tiles and then deep slate brick for everything. And we will need to relocate that beacon beam somewhere else. Thinking too though with the beacon, it might be better to grind for more wither skulls and get 24 beacons and then make like a quad sextuple beacon. And then we can dig that out to the bottom of the world and like separate them into like proper quadrants. I feel like that might be a little bit nicer to do. So we'll work on that today as well, since that should just be some wither skeleton grinding, so it shouldn't be nothing too bad. And for now though, we're gonna go ahead and put away some of this stuff. Here we go. And we're gonna make polished deep slate into deep slate bricks. Then we're just gonna layer this whole thing in, nice and simple. We can get rid of these ladders now that the water elevator is installed, so we don't actually have to keep these anymore. So that'll be nice. We're definitely going to need more deep slate bricks, so... Takes over a stack and a half just to do one corner. I like these quite a lot. Yeah, I'm liking this. Alright, cool. That'll be good. Then you got the little back room area here. And then we'll have to figure out what we want to do with the pillars again. I don't really know at the moment, but we'll do something with them. But for now, they can just be flat and kind of plain. I don't really mind. Alright, let's pop back down into our base here real quick and go get some deep slate brick. Here we go. Calcite. Tough. Tough is going to be a big building block that we're going to want a lot of too. Here we go. Got some more deep slate bricks. We'll do that so we can get the shulker box out of the way. Go. Put those down, and then we'll keep building with our bricks here. Also get rid of all the torchlight here too. There we go. And we got one more corner here to go do. Here we go. Perfect. You got that cooking. There we go. And as for like the sub layer that we have, that's also where things get a little bit trickier because I actually don't know what I necessarily want to do with the sub layer. We could leave it as cobblestone for now, but we'll have to trim it and like fill it with something. We'll probably do like a cool block that's not part of either of these groups. Like I could probably do like gold blocks. Actually, fuck it. I'm doing gold blocks. Hang on. Let me go get those real quick. We're gonna go get some of our gold. I would do diamond, but I'm a little bit too broke for that, so that ain't happening. We could do copper alternatively. That could be interesting as well. Or we could do iron, but I think gold would look a little bit better. We're gonna do gold. And we have enough gold that we're fine, you know. We can take like a stack of gold blocks here and go do something silly. Whoops. There we go. This is where scaffolding would probably be useful. So why don't we actually use it? Go. We'll make a gold farm soon enough, so it's not gonna matter. There we go. We'll do that. There we go, that looks nice. I like that. We'll tuck that in there for right now. And then we'll go ahead and tuck the gold back real quick. That's our scaffolding box. We'll tuck the gold back in there. Still got over a stack of gold blocks left, so we're doing pretty good on that front. And we'll go ahead and cut down our scaffolding. Here we go. I can go back in the inventory. And we'll throw this last weird one away, I guess. There we go. Alright, now we need a little bit of extra lighting here. So we'll just go on the intersections of all these and put down a torch. There we go. Do that. And there we go. Cool. So that should give us enough lighting on all the different sides, so we shouldn't have to worry about nothing. And then we got the first floor done, which is honestly pretty nice. And then otherwise, this is where things will probably get a little bit trickier, because now we have to actually do the second floor. We don't have to do it right now, though. I mean, we did just build a whole ass floor, so maybe we could do this a floor at a time. Like one floor per stream or something like that until it's done. And if we feel more inclined, we can do more, but I'm having a bit of a hard time thinking about what I want to do for this floor, or for the second floor. I know what I want the last floor to be, though. I know I want it to be, like, a lot more white. I want it to be like calcite and quartz. I do like the black and white kind of theming that I would have, where it's going to be a lot darker on the bottom, a lot brighter up on the top. It's the in-betweens that I don't necessarily know what I want to do. So I know what I want the ceiling to be, at least. So we will figure that one out. But for now, we've at least got one whole floor we can work with, and it's functionally here. I mean, we can put item frames and all this shit and start using this if we really want to. If we can get more item frames, that is. That's the other issue of it. And additionally, I don't know if I want to leave the walls bare and cobblestone, or if I want to do a, like if this is going to act as my sub wall, and then I'm going to coat over it with a bunch of other stuff. That's probably what I'm going to end up doing, because we'll have the room physically end here, and then it'll be coated. So then we'll get a room that's like 4 blocks wide and a little bit deep, so we can do a lot with that. And yeah, we'll probably have like some furnaces or something. I don't know. We'll figure it out. We don't really need furnaces, but I want to use that bottom room a little differently, so maybe we will include furnaces so we don't have to have that bottom room anymore with all the furnaces and stuff. We can have this be our more central spot for doing things. And these rooms being a lot bigger, we could use these for a lot more. So yeah, we could probably have these as extra little furnace rooms, and then have these rooms as fucking, I have no idea. I don't know what I would even put in these, but we could put something here, so we'll see. But yeah, that'll be cool. And otherwise, we really just need leather. We need a lot of leather for a lot of item frames. So we're gonna have to go out and kill a bunch of cows out in the world and horses. And I know I want like a full shulker box of item frames basically to complete the entire thing. That's gonna take us a while to do though, so we'll get what we can. Yeah, we'll get what we can. We'll head out into the world, into some of these forests. Maybe we'll go cut down some birch trees because that'll be another layer. I feel like the middle layer should be a more like classic-y kind of Minecraft, so like oak and cobblestone and stone bricks and stuff like that. And then the middle two can be a lot more like fucked up and evil, so we'll see. Alright, well, these guys are here. Got these guys well. I need to put more wheat in here. Breathe them out. Let's kill that baby. That's 16 cows. That got us 39 leather. Yeah, I guess we can stick with 16 for now. I don't want to overdo it. You still want to make sure there's a healthy population in surplus, because if you don't, then you're going to cause a lot of issues when you're trying to repopulate later. So we'll have to work on that. But yeah, otherwise we can just pop down into some of these birch forests, and maybe we shouldn't try to decimate the ones that are so close to our house. Maybe we can go out a little bit farther and go pick a better spot, but we will be getting all the birch wood we can. And oak as well. So we'll pop it here. Here we go. We'll leave the big trees alone. I don't really care much for them. They're very annoying to cut down too. And we're not going to worry about replanting or nothing. We're just going to cut shit down, and if we need to later, we can replant. You know, we've got plenty of saplings, but we shouldn't need to worry about that for a while. There we go. If we wanted a shulker box of oak, it would take a lot longer than those spruce trees we cut down yesterday. Still would be worth it though, but it's going to take a lot longer. And this is probably where having an actual tree farm would be useful. So whether we use like dispenser TNT or just push it into a block that we can mine by hand, just being able to have a massive block of wood that you can just cut away in like one nice sweep is going to be a lot nicer. And we got the bone meal for it, so there we go. Still trying to keep an eye out for some animals out here in the world. But they're haters and they don't want to show themselves. Yeah, I mean, we got that sheep out there, but that ain't no cow. That ain't no horse. We also gotta go keep an eye out for lilacs and sunflowers, because I don't think I've got those in shulker boxes either. I could have sworn I had done that at one point, but couldn't find them when I was looking, so I'm gonna assume that they're gone. There we go. We'll go until we get like 3 stacks of oak logs and we'll focus on birch a little bit more. It's not like we need a full shulker box of these logs or anything either, but a couple stacks will be useful for support beams and stuff like that. Oh, we got some wild bees. Look at them go. There we go. Start getting some birch now. I haven't seen any cows though in a while. Been unfortunate, but I'm sure we'll find some at some point. I should also expand my like sheep farm and my cow farm a lot more. They've been in that same canyon for over like 600. It's probably been about like 580 days or something absurd like that. It's been a while. Like literally since the world started, they've been in that same pen forever. And I don't know. It's at the point now where like I feel like I need more space to have more of them in different spots. Or at least I need to just repopulate them more. So maybe it's good on space, but I need more of them. So we'll figure it out. But that would certainly make life a little bit easier. Technically, if we made a bartering farm, we could get a lot of leather that way, which also means we would have to build a gold farm. So I think what we'll do is we'll grind out like 3 stacks of item frames or so, because that should be enough to handle most of my storage needs, realistically. And then, we'll have some stuff dumped into like temporary miscellaneous chests for now, but Um, trying to do like a shulker box or a double chest of shulker boxes for each item is kind of what the goal is. That way we can keep things organized really well. Make things get a little bit easier. So there was some leaf litter there. Don't care for that. But yeah, we'll do enough item frames to house all of our stuff in double chest of shulker boxes. Certain things will be like in a single chest. So like a lot of my like more valuable metals. So like, your iron and your copper and well, copper and iron are probably gonna get their own chest, but like gold will actually probably get its own chest as well with gold farm. Damn it. Alright, well, diamonds and emeralds, you can definitely lump those two together pretty well and it's not too big an issue. So we'll lump diamonds and emeralds together, probably put coal in a chest, and netherite. Netherite will go in that chest with diamonds and emeralds. So that'll be fun. Right, well, we got enough wood to be happy with for right now. So we'll tuck away all this stuff. It's our building wood. And really all we gotta do now is go find some cows. If we turn on hitboxes, should be able to see all these animals out and about here, but as for cows, not seeing any. Oh, we got a pillager outpost out here. I wonder if this is near the trading hall. Could be. Horses work too, though. As barbaric as it is. If they want to drop leather, though, that is. If they're haters and they don't drop leather, then that doesn't do me any good, but they're gonna drop it. I don't think looting works on horses. Oh, we got a nice little field of cows here. One more over here. There we go. We got our bed as well. Any second now. There we go. Perfect. Got some firefly bushes here on the riverbank. They're pretty cool. Nice and ambient, you know. All right. Well, 3 stacks of leather. Already almost at a stack, so that's good. It's a black sheep, dang. Let's see here. We got anything else? Should also maybe turn down our render distance just a little bit. We're going down to 20 chunks. Why not? 20 chunks will be plenty. At least for what we need. Lucky babies don't drop anything. They would have been next. But no. That would be mean. Gotta be a big ass lush cave if we have 4 azalea trees this close to each other. Oh, a shipwreck. We'll always take some time to visit these since we're still on the hunt for some Nautilus armor. Which we won't find at this rate, but hey, you know. One day, right? Buried treasure map. Cool. Alright, we just need to go northwest. Alright, here we go. It's gonna be somewhere out in here. Looking for 9 on our cords. Here we go, right here. Unless we're a chunk over? That's really odd. Yeah, we're a chunk out. Oh, we're going east now. Whoops. Maybe we went too far into the ocean for this. Yeah, it should be up here a little bit more. It's 7-7, and I've somehow forgotten it despite literally doing this yesterday. It can't be too far from here unless we're in the wrong chunk still. Shit, we were. Okay. There it is. That was funny. Anyways, we got some TNT. That's cool. You have all 3 bundles, so may as well use them. Anything cool though? Some water breathing potions. Those are neat enough, but they're not too useful anymore since we're now a little bit later into the game. Here we go. Do a little something like that. And while we're here, let's see if we can get some more cows. Yep, we can. Perfect. Oh, it's a dog. There we go. We already got rose bushes, so we're fine there. Sunflowers and lilacs that we need. Which, hey, there's some lilacs there. Go get those. We're nearly at 2 stacks of leather. And we're trying to get 3 here for enough item frames. Here we go. 7 should be enough. And to get sunflowers, we need to find a sunflower plains, which we can do, but we're working towards that. Got some more leather here. There we go. Think I forgot about you. Almost at 2 stacks. The beef is nice too, honestly. Not that I even eat steak, but it's still cool to at least get some more of it, because why not? There we go. Zombie nearby. We got some peonies here. Oh, hey, we're almost there. We only need 41 leather, I think. And then we'll have another stack, so that'll be good. Oh, this is the last biome we needed. Cool. That's neat. I was wondering when we were going to get that, because I know we were at 51 for quite a while, but surprised I never found this. I'm not seeing a whole lot of cows. These look cow size, but I think they're sheep. Yep, they're sheep. Tough. Just need another half stack to go. Like, I know I heard another cow. You're not getting away that easy, bud. Any day now. Guess we can eat while we're waiting. There we go. It's a cool ass cave. Could always use the spear to do more of a hit and run kind of thing, since we do have a fully enchanted netherite spear. In fact, why don't we go ahead and pull that out real quick? We don't get a chance to use it too often, so may as well mess around with it a little bit. And we're going to take some of these like side tools out as well, and we're going to put them in here. I know tools go in the toolbox, but it's all good. Right, and we're going to put this away. And we'll put those lilacs away. There we go. Damn, missed. That's not nice. That's not cool. It's fine. Does this thing not have looting on it? It does. That just got kind of unlucky with drops, I guess. It's fine. It's kind of crazy you can't click with it like normal, but it's one of those things I'm sure it grows on you a little bit more. Nope, anyways, we still have more ground to cover. Oh, so you can't use the lens when it's in your offhand. That's kind of the only other deal. Dang. But you can still hold it. That could be kind of interesting. You can hold like a sword in your main hand and then like a spear in your offhand. So like while you're gliding with your elytra, you could spear and then immediately like start sorting and shit. I don't know. There could be some cool stuff there. Come on, that had to have hit. I mean, it didn't even give them any time to get caught on fire. They just died. Damn. I also need to reload on... Alright, really? That didn't hit? I need to reload on fireworks here soon. I'll do that now while we're still thinking about it. We'll get like another 2 stacks, I'd say. That should be plenty. We have been chewing through these a lot more, though, now that we've been flying around the world a lot, which, yeah, I mean, it makes sense, so... Yeah, run at anything with a spear but other mobs can. Okay, that's kind of lame. I want to be careful while I'm using this thing since, you know, I don't have like a totem, so if I make a mistake, it's over. Since we're flying so damn fast. Yeah, we got enough leather for now. We'll start flying back. Go ahead and build up this shoulder real quick. Make sure to hit some more stuff as we're on the way, but we got 4 stacks of leather, like that'll be enough to cover us for right now. Alright. Additionally, I want this on because we're going to check our coordinates book. And we're going to negative 24039, negative 873. So we need to go positive X and negative Z. How's our elytra doing? Very good. Full health. Of course, we're still going to kill any more cows and stuff that we see, since we still need to get to a shulker box of leather at the end of the day. At the end of 2 day, but in general. Hey, that's a shipwreck. It's the mast of a shipwreck. Alright, that good loot for me. Buried treasure map. Here we go. Oh, way out in the middle of nowhere here. Supposedly. Yep. Heart of the Sea, TNT. The rest of these kind of suck, so we can get each of them. TNT again. Yeah. That's not gonna do that good, is it? Ah, it's fine. Positive X, negative Z still. Mainly positive X though. We have a much longer flight this direction. Thought I'd seen some cows. Heard a bat down there, so there's a cave nearby. You don't particularly care, but sure. Oh, that put us over 4 stacks of leather, so that's pretty nice. Still need like a hell of a lot more for full completion, but this should be enough to at least get us started. It's starting to become nighttime, so let's hurry on home. Cool spot for a ruined portal, right in the intersection of 3 rivers like that. I guess it'd be 2 rivers, right? I don't really know. Alright, well, we should be within about 2,000 blocks of our base here. We'll be home pretty soon. We got some more cows here. We gotta go for cows. We got our chest plate on, so we're safe enough. Get all these cows that we can. We got a creeper out to our right. Spider. Cow there. Hey, and we're back by the trading hall. Perfect. Alright, cool. Also got an egg, I guess. Of course it spawned a chicken. Oh, you can die. Alright, well, we'll get that going. And we'll drive on back. Was that a bat? Was a bat. I would have never caught that had I not had hitboxes on. It's really weird. Well, we got all the leather we could want for right now, so we should be okay. We can use the first floor of our storage system, and we'll start moving some stuff into there. Let's pop on up. See, we got a hell of a lot here. Yep, we got 5 stacks of leather, so that should be enough to at least get us started. And then additionally, we should have a bunch of extra sticks that we can use to facilitate this a little bit further. That was enough for 30 item frames, all those sticks. So you can see how wood intensive this ends up being when you see something like that. Oh, and then we'll also go ahead and put away some of the extra oak. There, birch. We got a little bit extra of each, so we can use these for building. That'll be nice. And then we still got some nice dark oak here. That should be good. We'll use this for sticks. There we go. There we go. That should be enough item frames to get us started. To mention all this is really nice and pretty when it's lit up, so that's cool. Let's do a corner first, and then we'll kind of work our way out. I didn't know I could even put one on the side like that. That's kind of cursed. Alright, I'm just curious. If I were to turn my render distance down to something absurd like just 10 chunks, which is actually pretty normal, what are we getting frame-wise in here? I'm going to assume it's slow because it's still loading everything. If I look straight down at the ground, if I look straight up, it still struggles. It's really these fucking chests. Like, if I go all the way up to my bedroom, I get so many more frames just being up by my farms and stuff. It's these fucking chests that crater me, apparently. That's fucked up, man. Damn. Yeah, I mean, literally, if I stretch it out as far as I can go, I'll get 120 pretty consistently with 10 chunks. But if I go down into my chest room, that gets cut in half. We have half the fucking frames in here. Damn, that's rough. There we go. We're down to our last 46 here. Let's go get some more. Got another stack of item frames, and then however much this will make. So I'll make 25 on it. Yep, because it's directly proportional, so one log gets you one item frame. That's fine. Except for the case of bamboo, where two logs gets you one item frame, because it's, you know, half cost and all that. Rather, it's double price. Oh, no, I know what I can do. Okay, so instead of having the gradient thing happen on these layers, I can do some kind of backing on the chest that has the gradient layer. I think that would actually be really cool. Okay, that's what we want. That's going to take a while to put something like that together, but that's definitely going to be what we want. And we'll use like concrete, which may not be my best decision because concrete's quite expensive, but we'll use concrete and we'll actually try to mix some blocks together and stuff to make some good shit, so that'll be fun. Alright, well, that's all of our leather for right now. However, we do have, well, that's most of our leather, but if we dip into our reserve leather, then you should find that we have a little bit more. See, there should be animal products. So there's the item frames. There's some leather. Okay, item frame, steak. Steak box can go there. And we'll put the raw beef in with it, why not? We'll cook that some other time. Here's our leather box. Wait, one more stack of item frames. This should be enough to cover this whole layer. That burned us out of all of our dark oak wood, though. Which, you know, I guess it did have to happen at some point. And we haven't farmed it in a while anyway, so it's okay. There we go. A little something like that. Alright, there we go. So we've got one layer of item frames in. I guess it just turns into how do we organize all of our shit to fit in there? What do we even want to do? A couple of things. We're going to put an empty box back in a couple of these. Got a leather box. Leather back there, item frames there. And then we got two empty boxes. So that's about what we had before. Additionally, we'll go ahead and put the spear away since we don't really need this out at the moment. And, yeah. Whoops, wrong way. We'll go ahead and turn our render distance back up since apparently it didn't really make that much of a difference. Maybe if I turn entity shadows off, it'll like better. I don't know. We'll try that. Now, all the item frames. Yeah. Well, we can still hit 60, I guess, with what we have, so I guess that's fine. Maybe we can't do the glass between them because maybe we need to have this partitioned in a way that we can't look at all the item frames all at once. That's going to be annoying. I get it, but damn, it's kind of, well, alright. It is what it is. We got it all set up, so we got a whole corner we can go through. Yeah, because if I look straight up, I get 70. If I look straight down, I get near like 90 frames. But as soon as I look at these, it starts not liking anything. Like at all. It's a mix of them being chest and not having any backing, and then also the item frames, yeah. Being able to hit boxes, that lowers it quite a lot too, so you can see how that all like kind of billows out. That's awesome. I wish there was a better way that would do it. Let's turn entity rendering back on. Rendering shadows, rather. Um, we'll try threaded chunk rendering. I don't know. See if that helps. That's only when things are placed or destroyed, so that hardly matters. In fact, right now we're not even breaking 60. I guess we aren't breaking 60 regardless, so try and do threaded. And then maybe improve transparency off. I'm going to assume it's because I just changed some bigger settings, so. Yeah, it looks like improved transparency was part of it because now this looks like this is running a lot better. Or at least a decent bit better. Now we're consistently closer and above 60, which is nice. We don't have clouds on, so that's fine. That doesn't matter. Priority DSS, because I don't know, we'll give that a shot. That's going to impact performance, though. Then, yeah, we probably want to be a little careful. I know I'm just running around in circles, but that's kind of the thing you want to check. I mean, yeah, it's keeping us at about 60, but we were closer to 70 before the other one. We do none, that should be fine. That won't do anything. That's fine. We do 1 second chunk fade, because maybe that'll be a little bit better. Give it a little bit more time to actually load shit. Yeah, I think that's helping a little bit. We got up to like 75 there, and we're pretty consistently hovering around 60. I don't think we've dipped below 50 yet here anymore. Yeah, that looks like that's better. Not to mention, too, if we were to turn down our render distance to like 20 chunks instead of 24, that'd probably help that much more. Yeah, that seems to be the case. Alright, well, that's the deal. If we want to have this many item frames, we basically are going to have some compromises on our settings, which is fine. And then also we're going to have to use solid blocks in between each of these floors to separate them. I think that'll help too, since we won't have to render so many chests as well. I'm looking like straight through that, that's a lot better, but as I start backing up away from this, you can see our frame rate starts to decrease because it has to render the gaps between the chests more and more until eventually we are down to 60. So until we get all the backing done and we get the separation floors, we're going to have to play a little bit lower, but that's fine. That'll be okay. Otherwise, I guess, is there anything else we could fiddle with at all? Not really, no. You could always turn down like the max frame rate, but that's not going to really do anything. And then otherwise, we're good. I mean, we built up everything we could up in here, at least that I want to do for right now. And then I think next stream we'll probably build out another floor. Talking through it, I don't really know what other floor I want to build out. So yeah, we will have to take some time to get all that figured out. Maybe I should build the roof next, as kind of counterintuitive as that is. I don't know. I feel like it would be better for me to build the roof next, because that one will be our pure white layer. So let's maybe build what we absolutely know we're going to want. So I want a pure white layer, and then I want my pure black layer, which I basically have. So this floor, aka roof, is probably going to be, I'm trying to think, I guess birch, straight birch logs for like the middle bits that we have, right? And then I know I want calcite, polished diorite. So we could do polished diorite for the middle bits to keep in line with what we had. And then we could do calcite on the little quadrant bits. And then for the backing bits, we could do some kind of other white block that I have yet to decide on. Maybe we'll do like stripped pale oak logs or something like that. Yeah. No, because we want to we'll use stripped pale oak logs like that are all six-sided for like the corner bits. And then we'll use stripped birch there, calcite on those, polished diorite there. And then maybe we could do something a little funkier and use like snow or something. I don't know if that would look good. We could probably do snow on like the backing ones. I think that'd be okay. Yeah, that should be fine. Oh, quartz. Quartz could be great too. Yeah, maybe we should use quartz. Maybe we'll use calcite for the back bits and then we'll use like smooth quartz of some kind up for the front bits up here. And then stripped pale oak logs, birch, polished diorite. Yeah, that should be good. Okay. So we'll go ahead and keep that in mind for next time. And we'll build that up for the top here. And we should be good for right now. So we're going to go ahead and call it a stream. Next time we will be streaming at 5:30 later today. So if you got time, stop by for that. And if not, I'll be there at some point. So yeah. That launched me right up into the ceiling. Looks like that triggered fairly recently too. And it also looks like the other one had probably triggered. Nope, didn't look like it. That one should be close though. I really should have some kind of extra block or something here at some point. But it's fine. You know what? Just for a temporary placeholder, I guess we could do slab stairs or something. Just so we got a little something here for right now. We'll switch that out at some point. I don't really care too much about it at the moment. It's just gonna have something. There we go. You can see our iron farm still working, and this one had to have done fairly recently. That should be fine, but I think we're good, so we're gonna go ahead and call it a day. But yep, with that being said, we're on day 612, and we got more work to do later today for our storage. So thank you all for watching, and I hope to see y'all again later. Bye bye.